Hi, I hope you enjoyed your first journey where we explored together various aspects of your trading, right from the strategy to the emotional responses in your brain to wins and losses. Today we're going to discuss something that is rarely, if at all, ever discussed in the world of trading, but one that has dramatic impacts on your mind and your ability to withstand the stresses of trading. I'm talking about your diet. Believe it or not, whatever you eat impacts how well you trade and cope with losses when trading. I'm not talking about a simple sugar rush after having a big pizza that may make you sleepy later. I'm talking about three toxins. Yes, three toxins that are hurting you as a person and ones you should seriously consider limiting or entirely removing from your diet if you want to take control of your trading. Before we get into that, let's go back to what we discussed last time about the chemical and emotional responses in your brain when you are trading. It's very important for you to not get distracted when you are identifying a trade setup. Listening to loud music or tending to your phone, checking your email, playing a computer game, or engaging in conversations with friends or colleagues offline or online while you're locating a trade setup basically means that your CPU, your computer, which is your brain, is diverting its energy and concentration to other stimuli, and therefore this can result in you choosing a less than optimal trade setup. But hey, you may be good at multitasking, some of us are, and some of us aren't. So if you're good at doing more things at the same time, then you may be able to handle this step in trading well. That's not the real problem though. The problem, however, is that by eating certain things, you reduce your brain's ability chemically to properly focus on any single activity, and this results in an attention deficit. This is all due to one culprit: adrenaline. Let me give you an example of what I mean. If you are in a jungle and you are walking calmly, listening to the sound of the animals and insects around you, and suddenly, out of nowhere, a large tiger jumps in front of you and starts to growl and suddenly leaps towards you. Your adrenal glands, which are located just above your kidneys, will secrete adrenaline or noradrenaline and maybe even some dopamine. These are known as fight or flight chemicals and result in your blood vessels dilating and blood being transported from your stomach and brain to your muscles, specifically your arms and legs, so that you can fight the tiger or run. This is your evolutionary response that has been pre programmed into your body over millions of years of evolution. With less blood in your brain and in your stomach, your strategic thinking ability is reduced and your digestion stops, and this is why you may feel lightheaded and also even slightly nauseated. Now, let me ask you this. This is what adrenaline secretion in large quantities can cause. It causes you to enter fight or flight mode. But is this the mode you want to be when you are trading? If I asked you to locate a Bollinger Breakout trade setup while the tiger is running towards you, you would not even register what I'm telling you and run for your life instead, right? So why should you have excess adrenaline in your body? Why should you be in constant fight or flight mode when you're locating trade setups? You may now think to yourself, but I'm not. Yes, you do, and that's because you ingest caffeine. You may not feel it, but caffeine is a major central nervous stimulant that results in your sugar and adrenaline levels remaining heightened throughout the day, and your adrenals are therefore working overtime. The more you consume, the more damage you do to your body over the longer run. You need to be calm when you're trading. Caffeine intake results in exactly the opposite effect. Now, am I saying you can never have coffee again? Of course not, but a daily, regular intake results in your body getting addicted to this toxin and remaining in semi-fight or flight mode all the time for no reason. Not only is this not good for your P&L or income statement as an FX trader, but it's bad for your body because if your adrenals become fatigued, a medical phenomenon known as adrenal fatigue or adrenal insufficiency can occur, and your body may not be able to produce cortisol, the number one stress regulation hormone. Okay, so there are real physiological impacts and effects, both on your body and in your trading, when you consume caffeine. Now imagine you experience losses, which you will. It's perfectly normal, or you have already at some point. How is your body supposed to regulate the excess stress caused by those losses if it has no cortisol? Do you now see the link? Withdrawing from coffee is easy for some and tougher for others. Withdrawal symptoms last about a week and may include a headache, nausea, dizziness, and these are known as the Herxheimer reaction. It's medically documented. If you are severely addicted, definitely consult your medical practitioner before withdrawing. Now, some of what I've said may also apply to theanine, which is found in traditional teas. So if you want to be properly detoxified, consider reducing intake of that as well. Before we move on, I have some more bad news. Chocolate, especially dark chocolate, contains high level of caffeine. Does this mean giving up chocolate forever? Absolutely not. But you want to fine-tune your body and internal stress response and hormonal mechanisms properly so that you are trading with the best mind and body arsenal possible. This means reduce your consumption of these toxins dramatically. Let's discuss the next toxin. You may already be thinking, what about alcohol? Well, all I can say is it destroys your brain cells. So unless you want to trade with a slower, stupider CPU, you may want to cut that out completely as well. I understand alcohol may be part of your life for years, so that's a no-go, even from a social standpoint possibly. But I'm here to tell you the brutal truth, and the truth often hurts. But let's move on from the social adhesive that alcohol is and look at two other hidden danger toxins that most of us don't even realize that we're ingesting almost daily. Ever had a nice, refreshing chewing gum? Or a soda drink that contained apparently no sugar but tasted just as amazing and sugary? Yeah, that's actually your brain being tricked into thinking it's sugary when in fact you're feeding it a dangerous neurotoxin. Aspartame is found in most artificially sweetened products, which include 90% of chewing gums around the world, soft drinks, and candies. In fact, 6,000 documented processed foods included, and as you may have heard, quite recently California requires all aspartame-containing products to state on their label that it may cause cancer as well. Yes, the byproducts in our body of breaking down aspartame is something known as diketopiperazine, or DKP. This is linked with causing memory loss and brain cancer. So next time you think about consuming a diet soda or processed foods, you may want to think again. How does this impact your trading? Well, let's see. Short-term memory loss never helps when you're trying to reconcile trade decisions you've made, does it? So it's not a good idea. And long-term, trying to trade with a brain cancer probably is a bad idea too. So you know what needs to be done on that end. Now let's talk about the third and final toxin which you may have not known that you were consuming until today. MSG. Also known as monosodium glutamate or MNG in certain parts of Europe. This is somewhat less dangerous than the previous toxins we have discussed so far, because some of it naturally occurs in vegetables like tomatoes, and it is, at its essence, a non-essentially naturally occurring amino acid. But in its manufactured form, it is a flavor enhancer and a drug to the brain. Basically, it makes unhealthy crap taste good. It is found in many food items, especially processed ones like chips, flavored soup packets, Asian noodle packets, and microwave dinners. It is also very present in Japanese food. If your diet is heavy on such items, you'll be permanently wired, so make sure to reduce or eliminate consumption of MSG if possible. If you live in Asia, where it's profusely used, as mentioned earlier in Japanese and even Chinese cuisine, elimination of MSG may be difficult, but it is certainly possible sticking to whole foods, vegetables, and lean meats, or proteins which do not contain additives and flavor enhancers. And no, pizza does not have MSG in it, so that's a good news. In a nutshell, you can have a great, healthy diet and even enjoy your cheat meals once a week without sending your adrenals and internal stress hormones in a state of disarray, just by reducing or cutting out these three toxins. I want to stress, yes, you can eat chocolate, pizza, Chinese food, chips, and all that jazz, but once in a while. Daily or regular consumption, however, is a recipe to disaster. It is strictly not advised, as it will hurt your brain and your body, and this just impedes your ability to trade safely. Make sure to listen to this message as often as you like and a few times every week until it becomes second nature. Good luck.